I'm going to explain my definition, my theory of self reference, and how my theory solves a lot of problems that there classically have been in the self reference area. First of all, self reference is not a casual occurrence. Self reference is the ability of an entity of a being to actually step aside from itself and look at itself. Now, when that occurs, again, in my theory, there is a bifurcation so that the subject that is causing that is looking is not the same as the subject that is being looked at. So that there's the bifurcation caused by self-reference. But we now have two things, but they're very tightly joined: the subject of self-reference and then the object. And it explains, so many of the paradoxes that occur. For example, in the theory of sets, a set cannot be a member of itself. It cannot have itself as a member, but it can be considered a new set, which now has everything that the old set had in it. But there's no paradox. And, also, there are the liar paradox. Everything I say is false. And in that statement, there can be a contradiction or a paradox, except for the fact that really self reference says everything I say is false, except for this statement. I've stepped aside. I moved out of the nexus of logic and sentences where there would be a contradiction, but it's everything that I say is false, except for the sentence that I'm using now aside, that I've created. It's a new entity. There's a bifurcation, a new way of looking at the old entity, and it explains a great deal about our consciousness. And because what happens is, yes, we are aware, just like the animals are. We're aware of things. We have a type of consciousness, but then in the human being, we're able to step aside from that even and look at it. And there exists our free will and our ability to step aside, self-reference. We have it in language, we have it in our thoughts, and it occurs in reality. So it can explain how consciousness occurs. And in terms of Gödel's theorems, well, yes, I'm going to go into those in more detail. But yes, my theory of self-reference relates very intimately to Gödel's theorems. Thank you. Goodbye.